Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Driven Wild. Today we are talking about you put the dog in your car. Woman says Doordash driver stole her dog when making delivery. I have seen a lot of gig workers pull some things that they shouldn't have pulled, but stealing a dog? That is unheard of. In fact, most drivers are afraid to even approach a home that even has a dog in their general area. So with that said, I want to go over what is being said in this article, how it actually is for drivers, customers, and everything in between. So with that said, let's get started. In a now viral TikTok, a woman claims that a Doordash driver stole her dog while completing her neighbor's delivery. So let me get this straight. You're not even the person that ordered on Doordash. Your neighbor was, and you're assuming the delivery driver stole your dog. How do you even know that's a thing? Like, how do you know that's actually the case? It could have been literally anybody. TikTok user Ronnitabhuff posted a video on January 2nd. In the video, Ronita says she called DoorDash after she caught a delivery driver putting her dog in their car on camera. I'm gonna leave her TikTok as well as her profile in the description so you can develop your own opinions on the subject. Okay, so somebody delivered something and took your dog. That is pretty insane. I really hope that it really wasn't a DoorDash driver because that would really make us look bad. But this just seems like a ridiculous situation already. Dear DoorDasher that decided to steal my dog on the first day of the year. I got it on camera and I'm on the phone with DoorDash, she says in the clip. I know he got out of the gate, but you could have knocked. You put the dog in your car. So wait, let me get this straight. Your dog escaped from your home and that driver took your dog, put it in his car, and he drove away. I'll tell you what, there have been times where I've seen dogs out on my deliveries and they shouldn't be. But when I see that situation and I'm capable of catching them and bringing them home, I just bring them home. Like if I see a loose dog, they just go home. That's it. And honestly, you really should have a better handle on your dog. It's really that simple. The video reached over 564,000 views. As of January 3rd, users in the comment section expressed concerns about drivers, DoorDash employees. The things you do for content, huh? Alright, let's get a few things straight. DoorDash doesn't employ drivers. They contract drivers. We are independent contractors. And yeah, the barrier of entry to DoorDash is very low, which means you're gonna have piss poor characters that do stuff like this. But the majority of DoorDash drivers actually would prefer to not deal with dogs whatsoever. In fact, we would probably bolt at the sight of a dog. We have heard all of the horror stories of a delivery driver getting bit by a dog and suddenly they have to get checked for stuff and they get injured and sometimes even in a cast. I've actually done a story on that. But a DoorDash driver stealing a dog, that's not a DoorDash driver stealing a dog. That's a jerk stealing a dog at the end of the day. That happens to be contracted by DoorDash. I avoid DoorDash like the plague. I swear, there's just something about their drivers that is super sus, one viewer wrote. Again, this is why DoorDash drivers get a bad rap. Because one guy who happens to work on DoorDash ends up going viral for all the wrong reasons, and that gets put on all of us. The large majority of drivers aren't like this. As someone who worked with DoorDashers for grocery delivery, they hire anyone, and some are so unhinged and unprofessional, another added. Okay, as far as being unhinged and unprofessional, sometimes. I'm not gonna sit here and pretend like a lot of us have the coolest tempers. A lot of us see the discrimination that goes on within the gig economy, and we just get furious at it. Being intentionally ignored by fast food workers. Being manipulated into accepting an order before you even completed it. Dealing with customers that steal food and then blame the driver. No tip customers. Karens. Like, the list could go on forever. And some of us had hit the point where we're like, we had enough. We don't have a boss. We don't work for you. We don't work for them. We're doing whatever we want at this point. And honestly, has it gotten too far multiple times? Absolutely. But there's a point where you gotta set boundaries and be like, you know what? I ain't having this anymore. And some of it can be seen as unprofessional and or unhinged. I blew up at Benihana, Chick-fil-A, a local pizzeria out here that has treated me like absolute garbage. Like, I'll be the first to tell you, some of these people are ridiculous. Ronita says in a short follow-up video that DoorDash sent her an email stating the Dasher was fired after the incident. First off, I really hope that a driver like that isn't on the platform, but stating that they were fired, that doesn't sound like a DoorDash thing to say. They would say deactivated, but they wouldn't say fired. There's a chance that this isn't as real as it seems to be. In an in-depth storytime video posted shortly after, Ronita explains that her husband checked their security cameras after they noticed their bigger dog wasn't in the backyard. Oh, and it's a big dog too. You see, most drivers would dip after seeing that. Like, we don't want to be attacked by a dog. We've already seen too many times where that has taken place. And those situations end up going viral too. The dog was in the driveway and then she grabbed the dog. It looked like she took a picture or something and she put him in the car and pulled off, she says. Honestly, this is absolutely ridiculous if that actually took place. I really hope that within all of these TikToks they showed the actual events that took place, but for some reason I don't think that happened here. Ronita clarifies that they didn't call the police and instead contacted DoorDash because they thought that DoorDash would have the driver's information. Okay, you see right there, that's why I don't believe any of this. Because if your dog was kidnapped, you go to the cops. You would actually file a police report. What are you gonna do if you just have the contact information on DoorDash? Well, number one, they wouldn't even give it to you to begin with. And number two, the police would have a better time doing a full investigation on the subject rather than just her talking about it. Again, I don't think that this is actually the case here. So now we're dealing with the DoorDash legal team. They said that they fired the lady last night, but to me, that's not enough. She continues. We're going to go the full mile. We're going to get our dog back. I certainly hope you do. As of Ronita's last update, they have still not located their dog. So the dog is still AWOL at this point. According to this, it could have been literally anybody, and we're not even 100% certain that this case actually happened. In a statement to the Daily Dot, DoorDash said that we know that this is a distressing situation and have a zero tolerance policy for the reported behavior, as the Dasher has been removed from our platform while we further investigate. And we have been in touch with both the family and law enforcement to offer our direct support. Okay, so we can 100% confirm that this happened and that somebody shouldn't have been on the platform, stole a dog from this person. Whatever woman decided to do that is pretty screwed up, in my opinion. It's one thing to think a dog is cute or whatever, but to kidnap a dog, that's messed up. And let's say the dog actually did get out and it was jumping on you and something like that. It's one thing to pet the dog at that point and kind of just keep it there and play with it for a little bit. It's another thing to take it with you. That's really just wrong. This is my opinion. It's worth what you pay for it. None of you pay me. There you go. This is the kind of stuff that DoorDash drivers do that make all of us look bad. Now, DoorDash drivers are going to be considered dog thieves, when in reality, that was one driver that stole a dog. The large majority of drivers would actually dip at the sight of a dog charging at them. Because we've seen all of the stories. We've been on the receiving end of all of that stuff. We don't want anything to do with it. I really hope that they get their dog back, but Jesus, this isn't a DoorDash driver thing. This is a one person who shouldn't have had an account that made us all look bad thing. I'm a little annoyed that this is gonna be put on all drivers now, but at the end of the day, isn't that just how it always is going to be in the gig economy? One person does one thing and it's put on all of us. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. As always, make sure to hit the like button, subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace!